Hi, this is Captain Finn with the Sailing Academy. So I get asked a lot, what do I bring to my first sailing class? Or I have a couple friends who invite me out sailing for the first time. What do I bring? So we're going to cover that exact thing in this video. So first thing, we want to have a good bag that has zippers on it. Reason why we want zippers on our bag is to, well, keep our gear in our bag. We don't want to do a boater's yard sail over the cabin sole of the boat when we tack or heel over if it's a little bumpy that day. We don't want to broadcast all of our stuff all over the cabin. So we teach on Vico S26s for basic classes, and it's a little cruiser, pocket cruiser design or racer cruiser design. So it does have a cabin down below to stow our gear, but we want to make sure it's properly secured and stowed while we're sailing so we don't have to worry about it. So I do want a bag to be able to put my cell phone, my wallet, my keys, everything I don't want slipping out of my pocket into the water when I'm out in the water. So I want to go ahead and put it in my bag. So let's go ahead and get into it real fast. We'll start with the basic, most important stuff is water. I like the Nalgene, the 48 ounce, just because I go through 2 of these in a day while I'm teaching in the summertime. So lots of water. You want to steer away from syrupy, sugary drinks, just because that can really make you feel not so great when you're out in the sun and out doing stuff. So stick with water or some light electrolyte drinks or something without tons of sugars, additives, and syrups in it. So that can be really important. So water. The next really important thing is sun protection. So we want a hat, sunglasses, sunscreen, and sun guards. So like your long sleeve sun guards is a great idea. I like to wear those, and I'll get to why in a second. Again, sunscreen, well, we'll get to sunscreen in just a moment, but sunglasses, hat, and that sort of stuff. So I will keep an extra, just in case mine decides to fly off the back of my head, an extra small moisture wicking hat, just as a spare in here. So let's come to sunscreens for a moment. You want to bring sunscreen. Now, this is an important thing to note. So with sunscreen, we want to be respectful and polite to the people who are bringing us out, whether it's a school where they come through us or if it's a friend you're going with for the afternoon. Sunscreens, a lot of them now have additives and dyes in them, and those bronzers, the dyes, seep into the fiberglass when your skin comes in contact with the cockpit, the fiberglass around the boat, and will stain it orange, or stain the hull different color, the decks different colors. So I want to go ahead and make sure I look on the back of this, and for instance this one, which I probably wouldn't use either of these, because other information here says may stain or may stain some fabrics. This one is a little bit more intense where it says, let me see, may stain or damage some fabrics, materials, or surfaces. So that means fiberglass. So you want to find something without any dyes or staining. You want a non-staining sunscreen with no bronzers or additives like that in it. That's very, very important because once the fiberglass is stained with sunscreen and bronzers and tanners and toners and stuff like that, it is extremely hard to get out. I know from experience it's nearly impossible to scrub it out. So that's a big thing, just as a courtesy to your captain and to your school or friends that you're going out with. All right, so now after sunscreen is, for your first time out, I'll put a little bag like this together just in a Ziploc to keep it all in one spot. I have peppermint tea, and I also have little ginger chews, like ginger candies that are lower on sugar. So a couple things, peppermint and ginger both help calm your stomach. So if you start feeling a little bit queasy when you're out during class, I can take the tea and I can throw it in my water bottle. I can also take these ginger chews and start chewing on them. One thing I will do if I know it's going to be more of a rough day and I'm going offshore, that's a little bit more than just a basic class thing, is I'll take ginger root and I'll chop it up, and peppermint leaves, and I'll throw them in my water for like a nice detox water or something like that. But it also helps calm my system just a little bit. So we'll have an entirely separate video on seasickness tips and how to overcome it and some tactics with that. But right now we're going to move on just to the next thing. So I will also carry a little multiplier here. You don't necessarily need to bring that for the first time out in the water with friends, but I always recommend having a multiplier when you're going out in boats in general. Just sandpaper pliers. Those can be very, very useful. Okay. Let's open up the larger compartment here. This is my teaching bag, so I'm not going to pull everything out, but we're just going to stick with the basics for right now. We'll have more advanced videos on sea bags and the basic sailor's bag, the ocean-going sea bag, and stuff like that in the future. So getting back into it, we have something you'll never find me without is a rain layer or a windbreaker and a light rain jacket for the summer season. So for the spring and fall, this is a very weather-dependent category. So spring and fall, I'm going to be carrying my foul weather gear jacket. I'm going to have my big sea boots. I'm going to have my bibs, my fallies, so my jacket, my bibs, stuff like that. Summertime, that's a little bit overkill. It's really bulky, it's heavy, and it's really hot. It's not breathable. So it can be very important to have just a nice light rain layer for the summer showers that we might come into contact with when out there, or a windbreaker to help keep you warm if you start getting a little chilly. After that, I will also bring a light change of clothes. So a pair of shorts, moisture wicking gear, an extra t-shirt, a long sleeve or something like that. So if you end up in the water for any reason, or you're drenched from a rainstorm and water ended up getting through your rain jacket or whatever, we have something nice to change into for the commute home, something dry and that's not wet anymore. So even when it's warm, we want to have a change of clothes so we can fight hypothermia even in rainstorms in the summertime. When you're drenched and you're soaked, that can be very important. So a good change of clothes. Another thing I usually carry, I'm not going to pull everything out. I have several first aid kits in here, but just for little bumps and scrapes and bruises that you might get along the way. And pertaining to bumps and bruises, make sure you have closed-toed shoes that have non-marking soles. So I usually always am barefoot or flip-flops. Now, I've been around boats and sailboat decks for a while. So once you're learning and you're first learning to walk around a sailboat deck, really important to have closed-toe shoes on. So closed-toe shoes, they protect your toes because there's lots of cleats and blocks and shackles around the deck that you can get your toes caught up on. Not fun. And then the non-skid portion of that. We want to, again, be respectful and courteous to the people who are taking us out and not mark up their decks. So you want to make sure your soles are non-marking for sailboat decks. Very, very important. And that's just another little courtesy thing. So once you get your gear bag together, we'd love to see you here out at the Sailing Academy, and just a short list of what to bring. So if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. Hope to see you out here on the water soon.